Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 1 Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my amazing co-host, Scouse Andy Lockhart. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm
Average.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm all right. Yeah, been a busy week in Washington, and in the NFL. It's obviously like transfer deadline day, but this time there was no Harry Redknapp hanging out of a car, no Nico Cranshaw or Peter Odemwingie turning up at the Ashburn training facility, or sex toys in commentators' ears. That wasn't happening this time round. Almost like transfer deadline day for the NFL. It was indeed the trade deadline. And we'll get into the news then. So the big news out of obviously Washington is we have traded Montez Sweat for a 2024 second round pick to the Chicago Bears, which is projected at the moment to be the 35th pick. And then the bombshell, straight after that, we've traded Chase Young to the San Francisco 49ers for a conditional third round 2024 pick. Right, we'll break these down individually. Initially, your thoughts on the Montez Sweat trade, then, Scouse?
Well, I mean, I think everybody was part of that. One was definitely going to be going. I didn't think any of us thought both would be going, to be fair. But to Matez, I like the compensation for it. I thought that was reasonable. I thought that was decent. I thought it was a good pick. I did a good kind of compensation level for us. Um, it's a second round pick, but it's virtually a first rounder because it's like, as you
Yeah.
mentioned, 35th pick, something like that. They're going to be because let's face it, they're not going to go up the table now and win out and end up being a playoff team and all that.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's going
at
to be
worst,
high.
you're probably looking at 40, aren't you? All
Yeah,
told, at
yeah,
very, very
exactly. And at the
worst.
moment,
Yeah.
we've got five picks that are in the top 45. So, this is exactly what the new ownership wanted. But I was a bit shocked with the Chase one. I thought that one wasn't great, but in general, I'll say see you later, Tez. You weren't you weren't good enough really for what the talent that you've got. You weren't producing what the numbers that we expected from someone as freakish as he is, if that makes sense. It's probably mostly down to scheme. You're probably going to see these two guys fucking tear it up now that they're in a different team. Because let's face it, Del Rio's got no idea what he's doing. Um, so yeah, so good luck. So good luck to both of them. But thanks for your service, shall we call it? And see you later.
Yeah. I mean, I was on with John Taman and obviously Jesse on the Bleeding Burgundy the other night. We had a bit of an emergency, like 20-minute pod, if you like, to discuss it. And I was initially quite satisfied with it, as you were. The second round pick is very good compensation for what we've got out of it. I mean, what we have to remember here, and I'm trying to look at it rationally, is both of these guys had 9 games left on their contract. Both of
Exactly.
them,
Yeah.
both of them haven't really set the world on fire. Montez Sweat was probably better liked within the coaching setup internally than Chase Young, and I think that was probably down to the injuries that have been plaguing Chase for a couple of years there. I mean, honestly, when Chase came out that first rookie year, I thought, my God, this guy's going straight for a gold jacket to Canton. He looked amazing, and then obviously he had half a season where he
Did
wasn't actually
nothing.
very good,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got injured, and you think,
Yeah,
okay,
that was it.
fine, and honestly, for what it was, you could probably say, yeah, the compensation wasn't amazing. A conditional third rounder is almost a fourth, but we
Exactly.
have
It's the end
no
of the third round,
idea.
isn't it? It's
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
we
So
have no idea what people are actually offering or anything at all, and it's quite obvious that with the
no one
cap
was.
space that we've got coming up, the ownership wants to move on and they want them picks for whatever reason it is. I mean,
Well,
I'm
the thing,
not sure what it's going to be for. Is it going to be for a quarterback? Is it going to be for just building this roster again from top to bottom with a new GM and a
well,
new
if you
head
looked how many
coach and
people
everything
are on there
else?
last year with contracts, there's about
Mm-hmm.
25 of them.
Yeah,
It's a
and
lot. It's a lot of dudes that we've got a roster turnover. Normally you get the usual 7 or 8, maybe 10, but not 25. And there's 25 guys out of contract. So
there's
that's
a
going to be
lot, isn't there?
interesting. Who we keep, who we let go. And yeah, man, I just think I think you're totally right. With Chase Young, I think as you mentioned before, that the cap space as well, and these kind of compensatory third round picks. That's only if you, isn't it something like if you hire somebody of a top
Yeah, I
five,
did mention
you
this
move
last
somebody
week,
to
and
a
I
top
couldn't
five.
remember exactly what it
There's
was.
a top
But
five wage they've got to be sent
contract, yeah,
differently from wherever
that's
they go
right.
to next, and
Yeah.
they won't be. I can't see them being a top five
And
money
and
wise. Wise.
the way they work it is on the algorithm. I know John Kime, I listened to his pod and he explained it. And he said basically if you sign a free agent, a top free agent to a similar contract, you do not get a compensation pick. So let's
Oh,
just say
okay.
for
So you
argument's sake now,
so
so you'd be out anyway. So let's just for
mm,
argument's sake right now say, okay, we know we need a defensive end. And it's coming up as one of our questions a bit later on, actually. So we know we need a defensive end and we go, hey, Brian Burns is free he's a free agent. Let's go and grab Brian Burns, and we will probably sign. He would probably command the top 10 defensive end
easily,
contract.
yeah, he's good.
In that because he's good. He's Josh Sweat's available from the Jaguars. He's again fantastic
Yeah,
end.
another
So
Sweat. Imagine that.
another Sweat, yeah. But you just look at it and go, well, okay, what are they going to command? And if you pay them the money that they're going to need, you're not going to get that compensation pick. So Chase has walked for nothing.
Exactly. And we've got
so
the money.
that's why they thought to themselves, we've got to pull the trigger now.
Get whatever we can for.
I know everyone's got
now.
Everyone's got anxiety over San Francisco because of obviously Trent Williams, and we gave him away in his prime.
Definitely got triggered there. I think a lot of fans did.
I think they did too. But I don't care what it is. Some people might be offering a fifth, some people might be offering a sixth, because as we know, the injury concerns are still there. And he has, and post this, people have come out and said he was the one who was freelancing. He was the one who was doing his own thing. And we've actually seen it. If you look back at film, we've seen it. When Chase was not in the side, the defense played better.
Exactly, yeah.
Individually,
contain better. Because the way Del Rio wants it doing is that I think Chase is going to be a monster over there, though, because in the 49ers defense, they're not schemed with their DNs. They're not schemed to hold gap contain or running lane gap contain, because they've got great linebackers. Do you know what I mean? What they're designed to do is to just get after the quarterback. So at any cost. So that's why Nick Bosa's so good. And obviously you're gonna have Nick Bosa and you're gonna have him on the other side.
You've also got, remember, you've got Eric Armstead, you've got Tariq Woolen. I think
you look at the linebackers, the best in the game.
Unbelievable.
Best in the game, Warner, best in the game.
Is Javon Kinlaw there as well? Great
Kinlaw's
player again. Yeah, they've got some serious players.
Their defense is scary, and I think they needed that kind of secondary edge rusher.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chase is perfect for that at this moment. Definitely, he doesn't have to play every game or every snap. He's got two guys there. Honestly, man, he's gonna light it up over there, and we're gonna be like, fucking stay to this. What are we giving away for nothing and all this crap. But the thing is, we don't play them properly. We don't play them the way we should. We give them too much responsibility because our linebackers are so crap. That's the problem. You're expecting these guys up front to do two jobs rather than just one, and that's why they get caught out. If you look at it, our DNs are not just purely pass rushers. They've got to hold contain. They've got to look at gap A, gap B for the run game. You know what I mean? Like that's the second part of the game. Now you might go, well, some other teams do that. Yeah, maybe they do. But the thing is that these guys are pure edge rushers. They're pure athletic freaks. That's what they are. They're nothing else. So why you make them do things like that?
If you look at it in the cold light of day, though, and what we've got back for these two players, I'm actually quite pleased with what we've got.
Yeah, I'm not upset about the compensation, really. I mean,
if you'd have said to me,
but I understand why.
If you'd have said to me the other way around, Chase got a second, and
Sweat got a fuming. Yeah.
Would you have been fuming, or would you have just gone, well, actually, that's not too bad? Because I think I'd be saying I'd be happy with the Chase one because that's great, but then I'd be upset with the Sweat one. So that's
what
I mean. So you would be like that, because half the fan base is obviously kicking off because they think that they haven't got enough for Chase. But I would say to them, if you swap that round, how would you feel?
Yeah.
And I think people wouldn't be as upset as they are.
I think that people would be upset that Sweat got lowballed. That's how people would be thinking if that was the case, because I think the only way this was going to be where everyone was happy was if we got 2-2s, but obviously we're never going to get that. So, because all we think of is first round talent, don't we? That's all we think of. So these guys are first rounders, spent 14 on these guys, blah, 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 blah. And This D line's meant to be legit, and it hasn't been. But again, that's on Del Rio.
So if we look at one of the stats was quite funny that I saw. Do you know that Casey Tooh was half a sack behind Chase Young in minutes and games played? If you exactly look at the minutes and games played on the field, yeah, I know Chase has been injured. We're not taking that into consideration. We're talking when he's actually played on the field. He has half a sack more than Casey Toohill. So hang on a minute.
Does that tell you?
Casey Toohill's an undrafted free agent who we picked up off Philly's practice squad. You know,
I like Toohill.
I do too. I do too. But and this is the other thing I suppose we've got to think about here is we have no defensive ends with a contract except for the two rookies, which is KJ Henry and Andre Jones. Everybody else on that D line, as in the ends,
or 1 year deals, aren't they?
Or all 1 year deals. Yeah. So Smith Williams, Obada, and Toohill are all 1 year deals. So the rotation, although it was kind of deep, we have to think to ourselves
at the end of the season.
What are we going to do? I do understand the argument that you've just made this team worse because you've opened up another hole. But
I don't think it's a hole.
Today,
I don't think it's much of a hole because you mentioned there yourself, Toohill's half a sack behind Chase, in sacks. And the thing is, as well as Toohill's a beast, man. He chases people down. He doesn't stop. He He chases down runners backs to coming out to the outside. He does all that, but Chase doesn't do that. He stops after time. Goes, I can't get the quarterback. I'll just stop. No, he's lazy sometimes, Chase. And this is why I think. We won't miss Chase the way we play him. But I just know he'll be a beast at San Francisco. Do you know what I mean? But because he won't one job having two.
We might miss him next season when we get a whole new staff in who wants to play potentially a different playbook again. But I do understand.
But the thing is, so you got to see it from both angles, haven't you? All these players, these 25 players, are on the kind of breadline maybe at the end of the season. Now, the whole new defensive coordinator, because we're going to get a new one of them, head coach, or the whole lot, the new GMs or GM should I say one. They're going, okay, well, we don't have to pay anybody off. We haven't got to cut anybody. We can just let these guys go. And we've got half a roster that we can just start from brand new, like virtual fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that from that angle. So again, because you've got a lot of cash as well. Again, we can go there free agency, get quite a few guys, and obviously, hopefully maybe 10 picks as well. To see what I mean? So
yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Really interesting.
We'll talk about that later. But to be fair, I think that is kind of. I think. Am I upset? No, I'm actually not upset because I think our team is. I don't think it's going to be. I actually think our D line's going to play better. I actually do.
I do. Yeah,
because do you think more of a team, more of a gel team rather than actual individual stars who don't produce. Do you know what I mean?
So, do you think we get too attached to the names though as well? Do you think that is pretty much the case as fans?
I think it's the draft pick. I think that's what it is because. Okay. If you're thinking someone's a first rounder or coming out first round, this guy's going to be immense and he's going to be this and that, and after not, you feel a bit upset. But then some fans won't take any grief or won't hear anything negative about that player because the first rounders and this is Chase Young or this is Montez or whatever. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're the second overall pick. Yeah, it's quite.
Exactly. Yeah, the thing is though, when you're the second overall pick, I expect Nick Bosa.
100%.
I expect that kind of player. I don't expect Chase Young with a broken leg. You know what I mean? I don't expect Chase Young being lazy halfway through games. As I say, has he been good this season? Yeah, but again, he's freelanced a lot. He's freelanced a lot, as you said there. And guys are gashing us like we're not even a defense. We're 31st in points conceded, man.
Correct. That's what
So we can't go much worse. What, one more place down? Okay, then. See what I mean? So,
and that's not all on the D line, but it does start there. I completely agree with you. But at the same
what
time,
I'm saying is, I think it'd be better because they'll hold contain better because they know the roles better, and they're not going to be splash players trying to do their own thing. They're going to play within the system, and they're going to kind of get on board. And I think we'll be a lot more stout. I think coming forward, I really do. Might not get many sacks or whatever, but again, the big names. But I think they'll be just as good as them or what they've produced for us.
Argo as well for Sweat. That's a tough move. It's a tough move of a team on the rise or rebuilding at the same time, pretty much as Washington would be. Had it been Atlanta, where he's from, I probably would have said, yeah, that's okay. I think, yeah. But Montez can go out there and be a superstar on that team. To be honest with you, he really can. He can carve
they're building, and
a
they've got
future
loads of
there.
money.
They have got loads of money next year as well. Yeah.
You know what would be the best thing? Not the best thing ever would be, right? Because Tez, in his initial interview with Chicago, he went, I don't know what I'm going to do in yet. I don't know if I'm going to sign a new deal yet. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to get used to the state, used to the area. Imagine if he left, he said, no, I'm not signing with you. And then came back to us on free agency. That'd be phenomenal.
Just finessed them for a second.
Just finessed the Bears in all way. And I'd love it because that's Ron's favorite team as well. So we'll stick up to Ron as well with that one. That'd be unbelievable. I think that just could be some sort of little kind of,
Josh Harris, the transfer genius.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine it though. Imagine it, because he goes, "Oh no, I'm not going back. I'm not going to sign with Chicago." Then we whapping loads of money, and come back to us. Oh yes, imagine that. That'd be phenomenal, man. That'd be unbelievable.
We've got to talk about it. There's also some news around here that apparently Josh Harris is interested in trading, not signing, trading for Bill Belichick.
Mate, I've had enough of the dinosaur era. Do you know what I mean? I've had enough of the dinosaur eras of Ron and Del Rio. I don't want an old washed-up Belichick either. So,
well, he can't do it without a quarterback. He cannot do it without a quarterback. That's obvious.
He's never been able to do it without a quarterback. He's never been able to do it before he went to Pats. He was at Cleveland, did nothing there.
I'm not discounting what he's done as a coach. I think he's a very, very good coach.
No,
he's elite. No, come on, Scuzz. He's elite for what he does.
No. Change elite to cheat. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro.
Deflategate.
This has been called Deflategate. Checking out people's signs, all that, and all this stuff. Video sort of teams training when he shouldn't be allowed in there. Honest to God, man, like the guy's a joke. Honestly, I can't stand him. I can't stand them. I don't want the old guard anymore. Forget these old guards. I want something new, fresh, and innovative.
Well, we'll get onto that, I'm sure. Well, we'll have to review last week. Obviously, we predicted a loss. We both said it was going to be I thought it was going to be a bit of a blowout, actually. You were a bit closer. I think you had us
bang on me, mate. I said we lose by 7. We did.
Did you say 7? I thought it was 10, but anyway. Okay.
Yeah, that's by 7, yeah.
No, that's fair enough. And then obviously, the result 38-31 loss to the Eagles. So we've dropped down to 3-5. We'll go over the stats here. Sam Howell was 39 of 52 attempts, 397 yards. He had 1 sack and he had 4 touchdowns, and his QBR rating was 114. So very good game from Sam Howell.
I'm still hearing people say he's not the man. I'm still hearing people saying he's not the guy. Mate, he had a better protection on the offensive line. They played a lot better without Nick Gates in the team, which was obvious. They give him that extra half a second that he needed, and look what he did. He put nearly 400 yards and 4 TDs. No,
he had a better day than Jalen Hurts. All right, okay. Apart from the interception, I understand that, but.
Mate, every QB throws picks. Doesn't matter how good they are. So 1 or even 2 picks a game isn't a killer, as long as your defense holds up, which ours hasn't been. That's been the problem. But when Howard made a big mistake, it's been punished every single time. So he feels the pressure that he's messed up. You know what I mean? And it tends to get in his head a little bit. And that's again the reason why he holds the ball and blah 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 blah. Now, you give him the time. You make him feel comfortable. You're going to get 400-yard games. You're going to get 3-4 touchdown games. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him. I'm still in on Howell. And nobody of the first 9 games has been as good as him as his stats. Nobody.
No one has. You're right.
And he's literally stat for stat. He's virtually the same as Pat Mahomes this season. And no one's talking about, Pat Mahomes is trash and he's not a franchise guy because he's throwing picks.
Better than Josh Allen. He's better than Jalen Hurts. He's better than
stats-wise,
every rookie quarterback last year. He's better than Kenny Pickett. He's better than all of last year's draft. Not last year, the year that's just gone. The year prior that he came out of.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than all of them QBs at the moment in QBR and in interceptions against touchdowns. The guy's phenomenal. He is the guy. He really is the guy.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy.
We just have to build around him. And I'm massively excited by having this potentially brand new regime, massive cap space, huge roster overhaul, somehow under a rookie contract, which is amazing, which allows you to spend, and then the window is open then to do well.
Until you got 1 year before you got to do Howell the end of next year.
You have. You're right.
But
and look at what happened with Jalen Hurts. It's exactly the same last season.
50 mil, have a bit of that.
Yeah, I know that. I know that's probably where we're going to end up at. But
yeah, man. It is what it is. I mean, and the day we've got a quarterback who's been any good for a long, long time. So
no, we haven't.
And this is the problem. You see, we're expecting if his arse to fall out of him. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're expecting. We had flashes before with other guys, and then they just fell apart. Now, for me, the difference is with Howell. Like he had 2 pretty damn awful games. You know, Bills was awful, genuinely awful, and then the Giants game, he wasn't great either in that. But again, I blame EB on that one personally. But he had 2 poor games, like really poor. The other games, but each time he's come back from it. Does that make sense? He comes back. He doesn't let it affect him long term. Like some of these guys, they have a bad game, then it kind of goes over to the next game, and then you play poorly there as well, and then it cascades. You lose your confidence, and you eventually get benched. You know, i.e. Zach Wilson type kind of guy. So he's different. He's different with that. His mentality is completely different. He forgets about it. It's genuinely out of his head. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll review the film. Poor, and then he learns from his mistakes. But now again, he doesn't. He just makes some of the same mistakes again. He's not like, I see it once, I know about it, and then I'll never do it again. It's going to happen too. That's understandable, but you see that he can get his head back up from off the floor. Do you know what I mean? He can keep going. He can keep going, and he can keep continuing to get better. And I think, see, if we can get a decent, just a half decent O-line, honest to God, mate, this guy could tear everybody up.
He could do, you're right. And I mean, look at the quarterbacks that are out there at the minute. I mean, especially in that draft class when we were clamoring for a quarterback. I mean, Trey Lance, a backup quarterback. Mac Jones, awful.
Yeah.
You know, you said him, the Jets quarterback, likes to run away. Jack Wilson likes to run away with people's mums. Zach, yeah, he not very good at all. CJ Stroud, terrible. Well, actually, he's probably the better. He's probably the better one. He's probably the better one of the draft. I'll be honest with you. That's the one I was mentioning. Carolina, Bryce Young. I mean, not good at all. And people are clamoring for all these quarterbacks, and we're doing all right.
To forget, man, this is still his first season. He had one game last year.
Yeah, it is his first season.
You got to treat this guy as a rookie still. He's going to have the rookie growing pains. It's obvious, and he's had a few games like that, sure. Is he perfect? Hell no. But the thing is, right? I saw somewhere. I'll send you the pictures of it. Right? There's basically the 4 small. Basically, it was comparing how his first 9 starts in the NFL compared to Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees, and he's actually better than all of them.
Jeez,
he's better than all of them. Less interceptions. Similar yards, maybe even more yards. I mean, Peyton Manning has something like 16 interceptions in his first 9 games.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It's got awful. You know what I mean? This guy became the Hall of Fame, one of the best ever. So
he's nearly at 2,150 yards.
Yeah, after what? 8 games?
Through 8 games, yeah. Yeah. So you're looking at 5,000 yards if you continue on that pace till the end of the season.
Inflating that a bit by making him.
He is, yeah. And a lot of it's garbage time sometimes as well. But even so,
speaking of that, 50 times throws. Now, how many times he's throwing the ball?
So 52 attempts, 39 were completed.
Yeah, and he was on fire. He was like 18 of 20, I think, originally at the first half. Now the thing is, this guy. He's a rookie. How many rookie quarterbacks do you see? Yeah, mate, there's the ball. Throw it 50 times in a game.
No, it doesn't happen.
Only throw 1 pick.
You asked that of Mac Jones. You asked that of Zach Wilson.
You asked any of the main superstar, even most quarterbacks in the league right now. You ask them to throw 50 times. I bet you they throw more than 1 pick.
Probably, you're probably right. Yeah, but look at
Oh,
this is the thing. Like you said, he's on the trajectory of the same as Patrick Mahomes this year. Kansas City didn't even get a touchdown last week. Three
yeah.
field
And no,
goals,
is anyone saying, "Oh, Pat Mahomes is not a
and
franchise"?
that's against Denver. So you know what I mean. Come
Yeah,
on,
it happens,
we
man.
put
Yeah.
30 on
We put 30 on them
Denver.
exactly. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's the thing. We do put points on the board, obviously, besides the Giants game.
but we
Um,
do concede points as well. That's the
and that's
biggest
been the
problem.
and that's been the
Yeah,
killer. You wouldn't
it
think
has been.
you'd think this year it wouldn't be the offense the problem, like the biggest problem. It should be it should be. You'd
I know
think
what
it
you
would
mean.
be the offense as the biggest problem, but really it's been our defense has been the biggest problem this year. So yeah, man, it's just crazy how we work over here, like in Washington.
Crackers. Some other stats then from the game. B Rob was 10 carries for 59 yards. And Jahan Dotson back a get right game for him. 108 yards off 8 receptions and a TD, and a pretty decent TD. I also thought standout players for me, Logan Thomas had a fantastic game. Looked like I was tweeting to you
Yeah,
and
the old
looking at you
school.
going, hold on a minute, how's 2020 Logan Thomas just turned up? You know, what's going on here?
Yeah,
He
I mean
looked
that
back
catch
to
for the
himself.
touchdown was sweet as well, man.
Oh, it was
Diving
beautiful.
like two
Yeah,
feet.
yeah, yeah. It was really good. I also thought the Jameson Crowder had a great game again. Difficult catch, you know what I mean? Got a touchdown as well. So we did really well in this game. We just couldn't get over the hump, unfortunately. I don't like moral victories, but I would say we run them close, which is always what we do in the
Twice,
NFC.
twice.
But
And these guys are going to be in the Super Bowl. Realistically, they're going to be there.
yeah, I think they're going
I
to be
tell
there
you
or
what, if we
thereabouts.
somehow made it to the playoffs and we actually played them in the playoffs, they wouldn't want to play us because I reckon we could take them. Because we're that close each time, I think we could take them. So, and I think they know that we could take them as well, which kind of would be worrying for them. I think at the moment they're thinking, well, no one can touch us besides us because we've proven we took them to overtime, and then we took them close again. Like this game was so close until the end, and then obviously we blew it right at the end. But
It's again the same word we've been saying and you've been saying, and other people have been saying, Burrows, and it's consistency, isn't it? That
yeah,
is the key.
you
And
can't
we
do a full 4 quarters.
can't do a full game. It was the third quarter again. Third
Yeah,
quarter again, we dropped
yeah,
off.
yeah.
And you just think, how's this happened again? The third quarter, we've dropped off yet again. And you just think, well, it's one of them. We did predict a loss, but it was quite close. So, at the end of the day, I'm quite happy with it. And AJ Brown, yeah, he is an absolute monster.
The beast.
I mean, that's why he's considered for the MVP. He's actually in the shout for the
He
MVP
should
this
be.
year,
He should
and
be.
he should be. I mean,
There's
you
only
were saying
one
get him
game this
drug
year. He's not had a
tested. You were
100-yard
saying, weren't
game.
you?
You know that?
You were saying get him drug tested because he's had like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
100 yards
100%. Get
every
this guy
single
drug
game.
tested. I mean, the way he's playing this year is unreal. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's a different level even compared to himself, or even last year when he played well. This is a different AJ Brown again. No matter what, you can double team him, he still kills you. He's just that good. And I think, with AJ as well is like I think you don't wish injury on guys, but he's got to take him out. He's got to knock out the game. That's what you've got to do, mate. If you want to beat the Philly Eagles, just take him out.
Terry had a good game as well. I thought Terry got to go in early. Good touchdown for Terry. He had he had a decent game again. I thought he was pretty good.
Well, decent game, and then he blew at the end for us. Now
I
again,
know. I mean, yeah, you've got to catch them balls. You have
you've
got
got
to
to catch them balls, man. I mean, wide receiver one, especially we think he's a top 10 receiver in the NFL. You've got to make another hard catches. They are hard catches, but do you have both hands on the ball? You've got to make them. You've got to make them, man. Especially crunch times, like when we really need it. And that fourth down, we really needed it. And he dropped it. So yes, yeah.
Well, we'll get into it then. Scouse, my favourite segment of the show. It is Scouse's Sizzle.
Scouse's Sizzle, baby.
Got a lion, Mike. Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Let's have a laugh.
It's not the O line, so that's all right. We're here. It's not coaching, I don't think, but it could be. But I think it's probably going to be some people in black and white stripes, maybe.
Yet again. Like, this is the problem we get, man. Like, we're a very inconsistent side, like we always mention. Like, 1 minute we're brilliant, next minute we're absolute dog shit, right? Now, when we do play well, then the referees have got to get in the way and fuck us over, no matter who we play against. If we're playing well, they go, oh shit, we can't let these fucking take over and smoke some teams. No, let's start giving them some dodgy phantom calls. I mean, look at the fucking the Logan Thomas one. What's that about?
Yeah, there's lots of them that were out there.
There's that one.
There was the Jahan Dotson catch.
I mean, that was ridiculous. Why the hell was New York even getting involved in that? That was called a catch on the field. Then all of a sudden, those little fuckers get involved. They didn't get involved for what's his name,
Devontae Smith's catch. Absolutely ridiculous.
They didn't get involved in that one, did they? You see what I mean? See the inconsistencies about referees trying to fuck us, and that happens on the regular. But only happened mostly though when we're playing when we're playing well. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I know.
These big decisions always go against us when we're playing well in the game. It's not like we're playing shite and they do it. Now they let you get away with it when you're playing crap because you're getting battered anyway. But the referees don't want us to win, man. They don't want us to win any games. And I don't get it because Dan Snyder's gone now. I understood it before. I understood it. You know, the Snyder effect. You don't want him fucking winning money. You don't want him, going deep in playoffs and then shitloads of money. I get it. I understand that. But you're not being fair to the players now. It just really is unfair because it's hard enough playing in the NFL 11v11. Never mind with the referees against you as well. And I think, and the problem is that it's always the way I thought it was going to change. Now Dan's gone, but it looks like it's going to be the same goddamn thing every time. So it's just demoralising because you think, well, it doesn't matter if you play well. We're going to get dicked by the refs. You know what I mean?
I think the refs have been poor throughout the NFL. I mean, you see the moved ball. Do you see that one?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know which game that was in. I think it was Cleveland. No, it might have been Cincinnati game actually. He obviously asked for the chains to come out, and then they were pulling the chains out on with the chain gang. And the referee put his hand on the ball and moved it about I don't know 6 inches further forward. Like, what are you doing? I mean, it's clear as day, and you're like,
what's going on? And my worry is that, man, Vegas is getting involved in these games.
Do you really think that is what it is? Do you really think that's what it is?
I genuinely believe it. I mean, obviously, I got no proof. Obviously, it's just me, buddy, thinking. But the thing is, there's too many dodgy decisions going on to not be something in it. If that makes sense.
So did you see the charges against the Kansas City Chiefs? Not last week. Week 7, it would have been. The over-under on that game was 48 points, right? 48. It got off to a flyer.
Right the 1 yard line. You mean that one?
Yep. It got off to an absolute
touchdown. And slid. Yeah.
It got exactly out for a game. It got out for a flyer, which everyone thought it would be. And the amount of money that must have gone on that over was ridiculous. At half-time, 40 points were scored. 40. Right? And you're thinking, yeah, we've smashed this over, no problem. In the second half, 7 points. Really?
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly, man. Exactly. Do you reckon the adjustments have been just that good? No. Tell you, man.
Doesn't add up to me.
There's definitely something in it, man, because these referees, don't forget though, referees aren't professional either. These are part-time guys. They still got other jobs. They're going to be getting paid like peanuts. So so if someone goes to here, just be really shit today against Washington, for example, we'll give you 10 grand on the slide. As long as there's no kind of there's no paper trail back to it. You do, wouldn't you? I mean, it's happened in the Premier League and everything, man. It's happened in the Premier League in England. This is why VAR is so bad, because these referees are all bought and paid for from different teams, or FIFA or UEFA or whatever the hell it is. They're all bought and paid for me, and this is what pisses me off, because it's meant to be elite sport. It's meant to be anything could happen at any time. It shouldn't be dictated to by referees. That's why rugby's the best game for that, because you don't even know who the referees are. You never heard of the names. You don't even know who they are. They're just that good, and they're good at the job, and they don't get no shit because they do a good job, and the VAR is done properly. So video replay. If
do you know what though? I don't like it. I mean, they used it in the World Cup. They used what they call the bunker. So basically what it meant is that the referee didn't have to make a decision. So at the time, he decides, is it a red or a yellow? He doesn't have to make that decision. Apparently, it's to speed the game up, which I understand. So he said, "Oh, that's potentially a headshot. what I'll do is, his shoulders hit his head. It's definite head contact. I'll give you a yellow card. But what I'll do is I'll put this little X up, which means the television match official in the background is going to go through ream after ream, looking at it and either upgrade it to a red card or stick with the on field. And that's what happened in the World Cup final. We had the New Zealand guy got sent off. So Geordie Barrett, he got sent off. Yeah, it does happen. Do you know what I mean? It does happen in that game, but I am not too keen on that. But anyway, we've gone way off topic.
The referee's on decision though, but normally see the result from the field. No, the result of the field on the play stands as a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you tend to say. So, like, this is what really annoyed me about the Dotson one. That's what really pissed me off because
it was a complete catch, and then
it was given an actual catch, and then New York gets involved and says, no, it's not a catch. And to be fair, you had to look at it about a million times to even see, did it hit the floor? Did it not? It wasn't like you see it once and it's definitely hit the floor, like, i.e., Devontae Smith's one, for example.
Yeah, well, he's lying, right?
Yeah. He's not even leaning on it. You can see it hit the ground clearly. Our guy's like, well, you don't know. It could be hitting his leg, could be hitting the floor at the same time. Who knows? Or whatever on the field should have stood. And there was at the time.
There wasn't enough evidence to overturn that. And then when you're listening to the Gene Sterators of the world, and they're saying it's a catch, and then they go, oh, actually, why have they changed it over? I don't see enough evidence to overturn this. And that's why
they changed the actual call on the field. That's because they knew that you couldn't overturn it by a challenge, and Von challenged it. You know what I mean? Which he should have done. And no. Not enough evidence to overturn it. See what I mean? This is why it reached the high heaven. Like, it really does, man.
Yeah. They'll get, I don't know, hopefully it'll get better. It's all script anyway, isn't it? So never mind.
This is what pisses me off, because as fans, we don't want to see a scripted. We want to see the actual real deal. We want to see, like, the best teams win.
It's not a script, is it, though? Let's be honest. How can you script out the NFL? It's just impossible.
Well,
they're all paid actors.
I'm seeing a lot of it. You scripted that 48 points game before with the
that's true. Chiefs and the Chargers,
yeah. So, these things are happening, man.
Well, we'll get into the preview then. So we're going into Foxborough this weekend, up to Boston way, and then we're going to play the 2-6 New England Patriots. The injury report for this week so far, I haven't got Thursdays, but I have got Wednesday's injury report. Defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, did not practice. Kendall Fuller did not practice. Doesn't say what it's for. It just says NIR, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that means. Curtis Samuel with a toe. Ricky Stromberg did not practice with a knee. Percy Butler was limited with a calf, and Logan Thomas was limited with a heel.
Has anybody know about actual Stromberg's knee?
No, it just says it's a knee. Man. But he hasn't practiced. Does it mean rest? Does it? Okay, not injury related. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So obviously, Jonathan Allen and Kendall Fuller have obviously been resting. That's fair enough. Curtis Samuel, Ricky Stromberg are the only two that we.
Oh yeah, Thursday. I've got Thursdays for you now. Actually,
you've got Thursdays. Look at that, perfect.
Yeah, well, John Allen and Kendall Fuller, I think, are still off because it's got like a line next to it, so doesn't say DNP, doesn't say NIL, doesn't say anything. Right? Then Curtis Samuel, Stromberg both didn't participate. Butler again was limited. Logan Thomas was full.
Okay, so it's trending then towards Ricky Stromberg and Curtis Samuel not playing this weekend.
Yeah, Samuel was a game time decision last time as well.
It was
game time. So
this will be a bigger role for probably Jamison Crowder. Oh yeah, and another thing that peed me off a little bit is, yes, I understand these players have been traded, but keep your shit in house, guys. I mean, I don't want to see wide receiver 5 coming out on Twitter, Diami Brown, giving it the big licks. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. No, Diami, you're shite. All right.
I'm sick of you being shit, bro. That's what I'm sick of.
Honestly, it just you gave us a lot of promise, but you haven't delivered, which is the same. You were wide receiver 3, potentially, maybe 4 coming into this off season. Well, Byron Pringle's getting more snaps than you.
What would it be now? If
6?
Samuel's out. If Samuel's out.
If Samuel's out, Brown will probably be 5 because Jamison Crowder will probably get more of a share. Pringle might get more of a share.
Yeah, Pringle. Yeah, it's one guy I was thinking. I was like, where's he? Yeah.
But I don't think he's that far down the depth chart. He should be 4. He should be like
he should be
Brown.
4,
Brown should be 3 actually. Looking at it, but I don't know. It just
him over Samuel when they're both fit. No, Samuel's better.
One thing I have got for you, Scouse, then thinking about it, actually, although these players have gone, we have got a cap saving here, not a cap saving, but a salary saving, shall I say. The salary saving is 11.5 million from Montez Sweat, and it's just over 5 million from Chase Young. So it gives us 17 million in salary savings this year. We also had 10 million in cap space. So that gives us 27 million for the end of the season. Do you see a Cam Curl extension coming down the pipeline now?
I think so, and I think that's where the money's coming from. I do think it's going to be. I mean, I don't expect them to be in 27 mil per year. Not anywhere near that. I mean, I think you may be looking at.
You can put it in. You can put it in an immediate signing bonus, can't you? And say, here's your signing bonus. There's 10 million
definitely.
Cam, but it will start from next year.
Think,
you'll still be on your rookie contract.
Well, this is last year of his contract.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't have any more to this year, so we weren't fortunate.
So it'd have to be a full new. It'd have to be a full year
contract.
New,
yeah, proper deal.
Of course it would.
This is what they were saying at the start of the season. They weren't happy. Even his dad wasn't too impressed that basically they didn't sign him up at the start of this season. Because nobody wants to play on. Let's face it, no one wants to play on the last year of the rookie deal, especially when you're a 7th rounder. You don't want to play on that when you know you're good enough to get a decent contract. So. Mm-hmm. So he must be pissed off with that one. So I'm hoping that they'll look after him now. And
I hope so too.
And give him the bag that he deserves. So he's too important to our team, man. He is. He's just too important to our team. So we need to pay him. And pay him, I reckon about that kind of 16, 17 mil per year. I reckon that should be the kind of going rate for him. Hopefully a good long-term deal, 4 or 5 year deal, but obviously we'll see how it goes.
So we'll go into the Patriots then and their injury report, and I have got Thursdays here. So I've got Calvin Anderson, offensive tackle, illness, has not practiced all week. Pharaoh Brown, tight end, back, hasn't practiced all week. Trent Brown, offensive tackle, ankle, knee, hasn't practiced all week. Devontae Parker, wide receiver, concussion, hasn't practiced all week. Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, with a knee, hasn't practiced all week. Jawan Bentley, linebacker, hamstring limited. Miles Bryant, cornerback, chest limited. Jonathan Jones, knee limited. Vidarian Lowe, offensive tackle, ankle limited. Josh Uche, linebacker, ankle/toe limited. And Dietrich Wise, defensive end, shoulder, also limited. They've got quite a big injury list there.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys aren't first teamers, though. I mean, there's a few guys there that aren't, but...
So, so Anderson, Brown are both first-round offensive tackles.
Yeah, Brown only starts, yeah.
Christian Barmore's a definite starter, as is Devontae Parker. That is Josh Uche is as well. I think he got picked up from the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, in the close season.
I think so.
So it'll be an interesting game moving into this game, because obviously they are 2-6, but we are the away side. It'll be interesting to see how we go against Bill Belichick's scheme, about what's going on. They've got a very good defense. Obviously their back end is pretty good. Secondary is very good. And they've got a good running game. They've got 3 good running backs there. Ezekiel Elliott, not so much, hasn't set the world on fire. Can't remember the other running back's name for the life of me, but he had a good season last year.
Stevenson.
Just Ramondre Stevenson, that's who it is. Well done. Thanks, Scouse.
No, he's good. I like Stevenson.
I do too. So they've got a good running game. Mac Jones.
Got a bang average quarterback though. Yeah, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
bang average quarterback. You're going to give us at least 2 picks minimum.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
We don't get many picks, but yeah, I think we're getting at least minimum 2. Yeah, man, it's a difficult game, this one, I think.
Very.
As I mean, I was in one of those survivor pools, and who did I pick? The Buffalo Bills, didn't I? Hey, and against the 1 and 5, or whatever it was, New England Patriots, and they go and they smoked them. So it's I know that's in division business, and anything could happen. That I was a bit like, but that just shows though that there's still got some talent in that team, and they've still got the biggest cheat of all time as their head coach. So, I just think, I think it's a very difficult game. I do think it's going to be a difficult game for Howell as well, because they're going to show a lot of different schemes that he's probably not seeing, a lot of different setups and different how to kind of trick him into reading one play when it's not there and stuff like that, disguise and stuff. I just think, it's going to be a difficult game for us. It's going to be a lower scoring game for us. I don't think we're going to get like 30 plus this game.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, to that end, then Alad's put us a question last week's guest on the show. You can follow him at Wales Commanders. He said, "What do you think of I formation being used last week? And a fullback. Do you think it's one that we will see a lot of, or do you think we'll not see much of it?"
I mean, I hope so. Because let's face it, it's something different. Let's face it, because we've not had that formation with a genuine fullback for a long time, man. Probably Sellers, probably the last time we had a decent fullback, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Alex Armour's been here a while, hasn't he?
He's really had a chance to play, though, has he?
Yeah.
He's never been out a chance to play. He's never really played with fullbacks, have we? But more recently. But I mean,
who's the only real fullback? Uzcek, would you say, is probably one of the only ones?
But they used him in the passing game as well. He's not even like a normal fullback, is he?
No, he's not.
He's a kind of hybrid guy. It's mad.
It's kind of disappeared now, hasn't it?
Fullback, it's been out the game for a long time, because obviously a lot of times fullbacks tend to be really good blockers, but instead they use the running back and the third down backs. That's what they tend to use to kind of help with the blocking scheme. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to see a bit more power run. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, to be honest. And obviously having the I formation and having a fullback in the game can definitely help with that. So I'll be happy to see it. I'll be happy to see a bit more of it for sure. Will we see it though? I think it's going to be sparing. I do think it's going to be EB is a pass happy offensive coordinator. This team,
we have to get on with that now and accept that we are a pass first team.
I said this a few weeks back. We have to accept that we are a pass first team, and we're going to be expecting 40 plus throws every game, single game minimum. Probably even worse if we're actually behind in games, which we've been a lot in these games we've played so far. We've been behind in a lot of them. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, but it would be nice to get a little bit more, just sprinkle that in a little bit more, just get Alexander involved, get Gibson more involved. You know what I mean?
So is this your key? Is this your key to victory? Is it then use the run
100%, 100%? Yeah, this has got to be it. This is it. We've got to be a bit more balanced. You've got to keep the defense guessing. If you don't, it makes it so much easier for them. If they know you're going to pass 90% of the time, well, then they're going to play for the pass, aren't they? And so it's so much harder for Howell to try and pick open, or hoping for the receiver to get open, because the defense is waiting for it. If they're kind of uneven, or don't know what's going to be this or that, then you see blown coverages. Then you see, guys getting wide open when they shouldn't be. Just stuff like that. And that's what EB needs to sort out. Really, he needs to kind of.
Yeah, I did like last week the injection
change a little bit more.
I did like the injection of the screen game, the rolling Sam out more.
Yeah,
it was good. The protection and the blocking was good. I mean, would you change the offensive line at all? I know Chris Paul had a couple of whiff moments.
A couple of whiffs, didn't he? But in general, I say Sam only had one sack. What's that? And that was right at the end of the game by Wiley.
Yeah, it was. But what really, really got me going was the fact that when I watched that play and you've seen Larson in at centre, he's immediately in the block. He's immediately there.
Exactly. He's going forward. He's going forward.
And you're thinking, right, this is that is giving Sam the opportunity to move in the pocket.
We've played rugby. When you're going forward, you've got a lot more balance and a lot more power going forward. I mean, you've got more chance of keeping the guy off you or behind you if you're going forward rather than on the back foot and getting pushed over. I like Gates.
Nick Gates, yeah. That's why Nick Gates is not a centre.
Yeah, he's not. He's
don't
always
care what you say. He's not a centre. He's always left guard, hasn't he? Always played left guard.
He's always played there. I want to play centre because I want to run the show. Yeah, well, we've seen how you run the show, bro, and it's not very good. So, I'm glad he's been dropped. Yes, I want to give Paul another shot.
Yeah,
he's decent in the run game. You can see but he's not very athletic. You can tell he's quite just a big lad. You know what I mean?
The only person I'm probably worried for. The only person I'm probably worried for, well, not worried for, the only person I'm feeling a bit, yeah, exactly. I'm feeling a bit sorry for is Lucas. He had a flawless game and didn't give up a single pressure. And then all of a sudden sorry, mate, you're out because we've paid Wiley all this money. So therefore he's got to play.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it depends, though. I mean, you'd like to think every single player wants to play all the time. But
Yeah,
maybe
of
some
course.
guys don't. Maybe some guys don't want to play the game. Maybe Lucas is going, oh, I'll take my, low pay.
7 million or whatever it is.
Yeah, because he's going to be quite low. About I
Yeah, I
think
think it's
3
less
million,
than
and
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Something
I'll
like
take my
that.
3
Yeah.
million. I'll sit on the bench for half the time, and then I'll just come in once in a while. That'll do me. I mean, I don't want to get hurt. Like,
It's true. It's true.
and he's
Yeah,
32,
maybe.
33 now, so he's on his way down and kind of. You'd like to say that though. Some guys are the exception. The
Trent
Kelsey
Williams, yeah,
Sensei
whatever.
can play to 38. But most guys tend to start going down at 32 onwards, really, especially on the line. So, I'd still resign him personally. I think he's a decent swing tackle.
Yeah, I do
still
too.
keep him I'll give him another 1 year deal, definitely for next year. But yeah, I would like to see him start over Wiley personally. But yeah,
I would too.
we'll have to
There you
just
go.
see. It's never going to happen, as you say, unless he gets injured. You just can't see it because just you mentioned the money. He's getting paid. He's getting paid like 8 million a year, isn't he? Something like that on average.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's quite a lot of money for a guy who's poor. Let's face it.
So we'll get into our fan questions then, and we've got quite a lot submitted today. So thank you for everybody who put them in. I really appreciate it. First one from Tim Towner. He said, let's have an honest ranking of the NFC East starting quarterbacks. And please factor in that 3 of the 4 come with major cap hits. QBR says it's Hurts, followed by Prescott, followed by Howell, and then Jones. What are your thoughts on that?
That's interesting. It's interesting that the QBR ratings are like Howell's that high up as well. I know he's
third,
QBR doing well, but yeah, it's
But QBR and sacks, obviously your QBR will go down from sacks and your QBR will go down from interceptions as well. So to be third for Sam Howell is fine.
Like 40 sacks so far.
Mm-hmm. I would personally say for me, it's Hurts, followed by Howell, followed by Prescott, and then Jones. I think Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in this league. He's on a massive contract. They've overpaid him. It's ridiculous. Dak Prescott can always have a brain fart and not get them over the hump in the playoffs. His poise isn't as good as Sam Howell is. Yes, he's got an arm, but I don't think there's any difference really between Dak Prescott and Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell's more of an accurate thrower, and I think he's got better footwork and he's better rolling out. And he's probably quicker.
I think Dak lost a bit, just a little sharp step in it when he broke his ankle like a couple of years ago.
That's true. That's very true.
And, and I think that kind of just lowered his mobility a little bit.
But Hurts is the number 1 quarterback in the NFC.
Hurts is number 1 for me. You think though, when you see him throw the ball, you think, oh, it's not even that good. And then it like all of a sudden just finds the man. Like, yeah, what's that about? Like, it's not a rocket, it's not a laser. It's just dead accurate.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
This guy has always been prone of being inaccurate. That was his biggest problem coming out of college. And he showed that in his first season. He was god awful, to be honest. And obviously, second year, big uptick. Third year, Super Bowl, got Super Bowl, and then obviously got his big deal. Now, yeah, of course, Hurts is number 1 in our division, and as I say, I do think it is tight with Dak and Howell, but I do think Dak. Don't forget, they have had number 1 offenses with Dak at the helm over the years, so you've got to go Dak second for me, and then Howell, and then Danny DeVito as number 4.
Danny DeVito, Jacoby Brissett as well. Yeah,
did you see him come in the third string? He came in last week. They didn't even make him throw the ball once, mate. Not even once. I'm not joking. He was in for like 3/4 of a game. Never threw the ball once because everything was all run. And you see, like Barkley had something like 40 rushes or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like, do you not actually trust your quarterback? I mean, I understand he's probably not a great quarterback, but surely you want to give the guy a chance to throw the ball. It was ridiculous, man. Funny as well. So yeah, so he's better, but I still think he's better than Daniel Jones.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. You are harsh. You are harsh on him. I'll give you that. It's just he's just got them eyes, doesn't he? That just goes, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's just
his long neck that keeps getting hurt as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got another question here from Freddie from the HTTC pod. He says, who would you like to be the next GM of the Washington? Insert name here.
That's a tough one, that, because I've not really looked into like who's good GMs. To be fair,
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I've got one that obviously there's been talk about going back to San Francisco. There's Adam Peters, who's the assistant general manager at the 49ers. There's also a guy called Kunal Tanner, who is the assistant general manager at the Chiefs. I know they're probably both looking for a full-time GM role. But again, it's very difficult because that's not the sort of thing that I think we would ever know or look at. It's going to be down to Josh Harris and who he trusts
and
and
this
who
is going to be
he
the most
brings in.
important hire of his whole tenure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
I really do. If you get the right GM in, and just trust what he does and what he says, and let him hire all the staff he needs or whatever it is, or help the players, whatever. Then you're onto a winner. If you're playing like, if you get the wrong GM, you get a Vinny Serrato in or something like that, then you're going to be screwed.
Wow,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
You're going to be screwed. This is the problem. So it's the biggest, most important thing that Josh has got to do is find the right GM.
Yes, you're right. Christian from the UK HTTC and Red Zone in the Lab UK, your co-host on a Sunday pre-game. He has asked, how did you both become such massive UK legends? Well, massive being the operative word for me. Yep, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. But no,
massive.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not a legend at all. We're just two blokes.
We're more like a leg ends, mate. What's up? We are leg ends.
Exactly. That's it, Scouse. You got it right, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
To be fair, if a class is legends, because there's only like 4 of us actually who English you do
pods.
You do pods.
Exactly.
So so it's not
right.
high
it's not high bar to set, is it? Yeah, it's not
yeah.
high bar to set. Yeah. Simon Thurston, shout out to Simon. Good bloke. Met him up at Edinburgh at the draft party a few years ago. Top fella, good contributor as well. To us, he said to tank or not to tank. And it's a no from me, by the way.
Oh yeah,
so what do you think?
You can't ask them to tank.
No, I don't think we're going to tank. But I do think we're going to struggle to find wins. But that's one of the questions a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ron is pinning his hopes now of sheer desperation at the moment about every time he gets asked about the D line, he's going, "Well, we got the quarterback and Sam Howell." And every single time he kept going back to the quarterback. Every single time, and I was like, "Wait a minute, bro. You had 4 years of this crap, and now, and you didn't even want to pick the guy. You're going to pick Taylor Heineke over him in the final game of last season when there was nothing to play for."
Taylor Heineke, the starter for Atlanta.
He is now starting for Atlanta. Yeah, that'd be interesting to watch that. That'd be this. We call that, didn't we, Wilbur? Yeah. But I'm just glad he didn't start against us. He would have killed us, to be fair.
You're right.
But to be fair, I mean, oh man, it's just bad times, man. It's just bad times. I can't.
James Lowy 133 on Twitter says, "Bring home McVay."
Lucky he wants to come here.
Yeah,
he left here for a reason.
He is not coming here. That's for sure.
Same with Kyle. Like, oh, you bring Kyle back? No, that's not happening either.
The 54th,
the NFC over there,
The 54th has said predictions on snap counts for rookie defensive ends.
Ooh.
Well, so that's KJ Henry.
Yeah,
and Jones, isn't it?
Jones, isn't it? Yeah, I think Jones is going to get a few more snaps than Henry.
Ooh. Let's go over under on this one. Then we'll split your question 54th and we'll go over under. What you're saying? 5 snaps in total for KJ Henry and Jones.
Well, both. So yeah, okay. So as combined or singular? Do you mean
each 5 each?
Yeah. KJ Henry, I'm going to say under, and I'm going to say over for Jones.
Oh, you see, because KJ Henry's normally inactive completely.
Exactly. Yeah,
but he won't be. He won't be now, will he?
A couple of times, he's been around it. So
I'm trying to think of who's going to be
on the.
Yeah, who's going to be the actual starters? I mean, you're going to have Smith Williams. You're going to have Tuhill.
Got to be.
And then you're going to have Obada backing him up.
Yeah.
So there's another one on rotation.
He's still carrying injuries. Obada, he hasn't been the same this year.
So you're going to have another one then coming on that, which would probably be Jones. Yeah, I would say. So
you're going to go over 5.
That's who it's going to be. So you're going to go over 5 for Jones then?
Yeah, I'm going to go over 5. I won't be by many more, maybe 6 or 7 snaps, but it'll be something like that.
I'll go back to the question. I'm going to say a combined 10 between the two. It's probably quite high, actually. That, to be fair.
I think that's reasonable.
Like six
I
or
think
seven for 6 or
Yeah.
7 and 3.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and then
you
3 or
know,
4 for the other guy. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Interesting question. Well done. I like that 54th. That was good. We've got one from Rod Morrison. He said, with the rebuild that's now included encompassing the front office as well as coaches, any thoughts on GM, head coach, offensive line, defensive line, and special teams? I mean, we haven't got into this at all. This is really hard, Rod. For head coach, Ben Johnson for me from Detroit Lions, who's their current offensive coordinator. You think I've got a lot of love in with him, but I honestly think he's a brilliant mind. I think he's a young coach who can come in and do and do the job. I think he's kind of that mold. Defensive coordinator.
Me personally, I mean, if
you're not going to get Flores though. I know you've asked for that, but he's not going to take.
Yeah, but why wouldn't he come? In the day, he's at Pittsburgh doing like.
He's not. He's at Miami.
Special assistant or something.
Is he at Pittsburgh still? I thought he was at Miami. Or no, he left Miami.
No, Miami got fired from there when they were 8-8. Remember?
Or is he? Is he at Minnesota? I can't remember where he is.
I don't think he is. I think he's still at Pittsburgh.
He might be. He might be right. He's been everywhere.
I know he's got a problem with the NFL and he's suing him at the moment. So that's
he is. Yeah.
Reason. Actually, fair play to you, man. You pulled that out the bag, didn't you?
Is he at Minnesota?
He's at Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, so nice. There you go.
He's
as the DC, I think he is, isn't
he? He is.
Yeah, he's defensive coordinator. Yeah.
Oh, well,
so he isn't. He isn't going to leave.
He's not going to come across sideways. So yeah.
No. That's why I asked. Yeah, I do remember him being at Pittsburgh, though. I do remember that last season.
I mean, I
was there last season. Yeah. So again, it's difficult. I really got no idea.
Yeah,
I actually like the special teams coach here. I think he's pretty good.
Is it Nate Kaiser? Is it?
Kaiser, yeah, Nate Kaiser, yeah, or Kaiser. I think below that, I think the likes of Coach Z, Ken Zampese. No, that's not him. Well, he's well gone.
Well, Ken Zampese's the quarterback. He's helping the quarterbacks.
Is he
like assistant coach type
thing?
Yeah,
coach. That's right.
He's not the head guy because that's Tavita Pritchard, but
that's right. Yeah,
that's the.
I don't know if he would stay on. It depends on. People on EB.
People have said, man, like people said, like if you fired the whole lot today, as in like Ron, EB, and Del Rio, that Zampese could be your offensive.
Yeah, it could be the OC. Yeah,
because he's done that before for teams, so he could technically do it. Well, just the end of the season, it's not like a long-term thing, but so
that's a tough one, Rod. Let's revisit that one. I'll put a star next to it because you always do this. You put in these questions to us, and we always have to revisit it. So I apologise for this, but let's.
You give us questions for things that are like 3 months, 6 months,
3 months down the line.
You know what I mean?
It's good though. I like his mind. He's thinking on exactly the same thing we are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Commander Viscount.
It makes you don't know what we're talking about. Well, it's
standard. Well, he's standard. You're right there. Commander Viscount John Bodengrace has asked, we have approximately 90 million in cap space next year. How would you spend it? Which particular positions? And do you have any particular targets and any key re-signs? Now, key re-signs, we've obviously already talked about Cam Curl.
Yeah,
he's got to be number one.
He's number one key re-sign for me.
Do you have any other key re-signs?
Do you know who the 25 guys are who are on one-year deals?
No idea.
No,
not all of them.
I mean, I know that most of them. I like Tuhill.
Tuhill, probably Smith Williams, Obada again. That's your depth there. So you're looking at definitely them three.
Forget Cody Barton. He can go. You can see
gone.
Do one.
Kendall Fuller.
Yeah. If he's not too ridiculously expensive.
He's played well.
He was 10 mil a year, wasn't he? He was 10 mil a year his last 3 years, so that's quite a lot of money. So for guys like, a really CB2, really. I know we use him as a 1, but he's really CB2. If the money's right, I'll definitely keep Fuller. For me, though, it's hard because I don't know every single player that's actually on one-year deals.
Yeah, no, it's tough, isn't it? I mean...
But then what would they do with that money, though?
Cornelius Lucas is obviously on there. He's a 1-year deal. Had to re-sign him most likely. Lucas. So I've got him here. So Curtis Samuel.
No.
It's a tough one. You'd let him walk, would you?
I'd let him walk, yeah.
Fuller, we talked about Jacoby Brissett.
He won't stay another year. So
no.
You go.
Cornelius Lucas.
Hopefully re-sign but give him 1-year deal, shot in.
We just talked about Cody Barton. Jeremy Reeves.
Yeah, you got to keep Revo, but then the problem is he's got an ACL, so you don't know how good he's going to be. And do you take the risk? Because it's like, well, he could be gone. You like to think you're back in time for like the start of pre-season, but you don't know, do you? So
No, F.A. Obada, we talked about Kaliki Hudson.
no.
Tyler Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep Tyler Larson.
The
David Mayo.
No. The problem is for me.
Antonio Gibson.
No, he's gone as well.
Joey Sly.
Now, this is a tough one for me because obviously this is a tough one, Joey Sly, because
he's just kicked a franchise record.
Just a franchise record, and the next minute you'll miss an extra point. That's Joey Sly. So it's kind of like, well, who do you want? I'd probably say we sign him and then see if anyone's better out there.
Yeah, I would too. Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, I'd like to keep him another year.
Byron Pringle.
No.
Sadiq Charles.
No.
And then we are scraping the barrel. We've already talked about James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill, and we've already talked about Cam Curl. So that is our free agents. So there's a few signings there that we probably could pick
half,
up.
Maybe in it, about half.
Yeah, I think so too. What positions would I spend the cap space on? Well, obviously we've got a defensive end need now. Brian Burns, Josh Sweat, we talked about earlier. They're the two big key free agents for me that I would be definitely looking to utilize and see there. Whoever the San Francisco 49ers do not re-sign at linebacker, there's going to be some serious talent that's going to go out that door. Although they've got a very good defense now, the reason they've signed Chase Young is they are in win mode right this minute. They have to win the Super Bowl or at least get to the NFC Championship game to even have a chance of getting these to sign. They have no cap space hardly at all next year. They cannot re-sign their entire backfield. So there's going to be some serious talent coming out of San Francisco as well. Javon Kinlaw, I think, is due out. So he's a really big free agent. It's linebacker, it's offensive line, and it's defensive end, isn't it? They're three spaces.
Yeah, and then on the offensive line as well. He's still going
to be the offensive line. I think we use the draft. I also think we use the draft to go. If Sam's the guy, and this is where it all boils down to, your draft day is you're looking at Joe Alt or you're looking at Oliver Sharma. I can't remember how you pronounce his name. The Penn State left tackle. They are the two standout tackles in this.
They're going to go probably top 5 or 6.
I would think so. I would think so. Yeah.
So we're
there. But we're there for that. We're there for that at the moment.
But don't forget, there's only one game out of 7th place in the wild card at the moment as well.
And that's the bad thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? We're only one game behind, so.
So I think that's where I'd spend the money.
Oh yeah, 100%. It has to be positions of need, man. Where you got to get some guys who know what they're doing straight away and just can make a big difference. Big difference makers.
What you also have to remember there as well, Commander Viscount, is we currently have, as I said before, 27 million now in the pot for this year.
17 million more.
No, because it doesn't go across. It's just salary this year. The 17 million from Chase and Montez. It's remaining salary of what they had for the rest of the year.
So can't you that can't go over then?
It won't. No, is
that just Josh keeping that 17 mil for himself?
Well, it's just what they were due to get paid. Obviously, the contract's been taken over by their new teams, so we're not now liable to pay them that money. So,
who gets the money then? Is it
Cam Curl? Cam Curl's getting that money.
Cam Curl's going to get the money now, like soon, like a few weeks.
A couple of weeks time, I reckon. Yeah, that's where that'll be. Yeah, okay. I think so. But we've got 10 million in cap space right now, so that's going to transfer over. So that'll take us to 100. I think it's like 96 actually is what we had projected, but it's going to be about 100 mil. So that's a lot of money to play with. You're going to need 10 million as a minimum, just to keep to one side. Probably going to need another 5 to 7 to sign your draft class. So you need about
more if we have so many
drafts. Yeah, probably 20 mil. You're probably going to look at 20 mil told there for the two, because you always need about 5 or 6 because you need to get players off the couch occasionally if you've got injuries.
Just in case of injuries and that. Yeah,
so
left, yeah.
And then you're probably looking at 14 to 15 million for your draft class overall. If you've got a lot of picks, so there's 20 mil straight away. So you still got 80 million to play with, which is a a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money, and just hope.
And to be honest with you, I think we will be spending it as well.
We should be. I'm hoping that we get like 6 quality dudes.
Yeah, I do too.
But that
a
80
really,
mil,
really good linebacker.
Linebacker minimum. Probably need 2, to be honest. I'm sick of this fucking
Jamin Davis.
I'm not sold on Davis either. 1 minute he's great, next minute he looks like absolute dung. So I don't know, man. We need to revamp the whole linebackers core, and we need 1 to even 2 top draw O linemen coming in.
You're right, but great question. Appreciate that, Commander Viscount. And we've got another one from Commander Viscount. Says, how many wins between Sunday and the end of the season, and who are we beating? It's tough. So let me go through the rest of the schedule. So we've got New England, at New England, at Seattle, at home to New York, at Dallas, at home to Miami, at Los Angeles, at New York Jets, at home to San Francisco, and at home to Dallas. For me, honestly, I can see 2 wins there.
I'm the same with that.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm saying we'll probably beat New England this Sunday. And then the only other game is New York at home.
I think it'll be.
You think Dallas?
I think we'll get one on Dallas. I don't know which one. Maybe I hope it'll be the prime time game. That'd be nice. And
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
You're right.
But I think it'll be. I think we'll beat the Jets, and I think we'll beat.
Good shout.
And we'll beat Dallas. That's our 2. I think the Giants will. As good as hoodoo over us, they could play fucking shite, and we play worse. That's just how it works when we play the Giants. So
you've got us at 2 wins. So that is
I got to 2 wins. Yeah.
Wow, that is.
So that puts that 5 and at the end of the season 5 and
5 wins.
12.
Yes, 5 and 12. Yeah.
That's painful, that bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah.
Not good, is it? That's not good. That's a top 5 pick anyway, I think.
Well, yeah,
definitely a top 10. It's definitely a top 10 pick.
Left tackle if we're thinking it's if Hal's the guy, rather than going for these quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hope the new owner, the new head coach really wants to work with Howell and not get his own quarterback in. That's the only thing.
Richard Cameron's asked us a couple of questions here. He said, he's at Mr. Richard Cameron on Twitter. He said, how do you think the Howell and the O-line will deal with Belichick's defense this week?
So again, you kind of broke up a little bit.
Oh, did I? Sorry about that. Yeah. So it says, how do you think Howell and the O-line will deal with Belichick's defense this week?
How will that O-line cope? Well, I think it'll do okay. I do too.
I don't think it'll be any different to last week.
I think if they continue to do what he did last week, and I'm not massively worried about the D line. To be fair, say as you mentioned before, it's more kind of the secondary and linebackers who are pretty decent more than the. It's not a scary D line in my book, so
it's not for me either.
I think they'll hold up quite well.
I think their secondary is very good. As I said before, I think they've always had decent corners and decent safeties. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. Last question then from Richard Cameron. Again, thank you for putting this in. He said, our win-loss record over recent years provides evidence that our players and coaches have been generally mid or below mid talent compared to other league teams. Should we have tried to clear out more players in trades with a view to bolster our potential draft capital? What are your thoughts? And we're going back to the trade deadline now. I mean, I honestly thought potentially we could have had 2 more players out the door. I'm surprised no one went for Antonio Gibson. And I'm also surprised that we actually did stick with Jacoby Brissett. I know people, when Josh...
For him.
I know.
That's not enough.
If someone came and said, here's a 4th, I'd probably said, absolutely. But
the thing is, Hal's still learning, and you can see that he's probably trying to mentor him. You can really see it. After every play, when they're not on the field and he's off the field, you see Hal sit down, who's next to him, Brissett with a screen in his face, saying, "Look, this is what this is." You know what I mean? Like really trying to really mentoring him. So I think he's
And I
doing.
know he's on
to be fair.
top backup money, and we're paying him the highest like money for a backup in the
Oh yeah,
NFL.
8
But
million. I think he's on. Yeah,
he's worth it though for what he's mentoring and giving
yeah.
to
I think
Sam
so.
Howell.
I think
So
so. You can tell he's not just taking the money and being like a knob. You know what I mean? And not really trying to help him out or So yeah.
but do you think there's anyone else that we're missing that we could have gone out the door?
Anyone could have went out the door. I mean, I'm not being
Hmm.
honest. I mean, let's be fair here. Anybody could have been out the door if the package was right.
Well, yeah, if someone
Even
comes in for
Terry,
John
even the
Allen
studs,
and says,
even the John Allens,
"Hey,
the studs,
here's
if they could afford their wages,
here's a first and a third," you got to
Yeah.
seriously consider that, haven't you?
definitely,
Especially because of the wages that they're on. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The cap space that you're saving as well. It's
100%. But don't forget though, how much dead cap do you get killed with them guys?
yeah, that's true.
That's the only problem as well. But again, I think a lot of them could have been. I think anybody was fair game. Someone came in and said, "I'll give you 2 firsts for Terry." Goodbye.
Yeah.
See, if the capital was right, everyone was on the table. I thought.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, but I'm surprised that Gibson didn't go, and I'm also surprised that Brissett didn't go in the end. But yeah, we'll live and learn. Another transfer deadline day or trade deadline, whatever you want to call it for us. I like transfer deadline day because it does remind me of the football. But there you go. Well, that's us done then, Scouts. Apart from predictions, what are you going for this week then?
A tight one. I think we lose. I know. I think we lose 21-17. I think we lose that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go 24-21 win
Okay.
away. 24-21 win. Yeah, it's Joey Sly.
Even yeah. Missed a slice to the right when he for the 1 point to win it.
Yeah.
No, he missed it.
Don't
overtime.
Don't,
That's what's going to happen.
Don't put that juju on me. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sorry,
yeah,
we'll
be back same time next week. So yeah, thanks for all your questions. Thanks for coming in. The views and the downloads have been out of the park. We really appreciate it. If you subscribe to us, thank you very much for doing that. If you don't subscribe to us, please subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. I don't know why you'd be watching on YouTube, but it is what it is. But if you are, some people do like the visual. But if you are listening to us, thank you for downloading the episode from your podcast app and whatever podcast catcher you get it in. It is available on all podcasts. And if you could write us a review, we'd really appreciate that. Thanks very much, everyone. And we will see you again next week, hopefully with a dub.
Bye.